YouTube, this is Evan Elliott here once again, all hunters of YouTube. I have another top list, but today instead of top 5 list, I'm going to do a top 10 list. Now, this top 10 list is going to be the top 10, not top 5, top 10 Spirit Halloween themes. Now, these themes aren't just in my opinion. I also think these are the themes that got the most hype, that people really seem to enjoy. So let's start it off by saying The Ruins from 2014. Now, this scene wasn't just a normal cemetery, because that's kind of what everyone was expecting last year because of all the tombstone props and the statue and the pumpkin, like jack-o'-lantern. But The Ruins did surprise people, and it really got everyone into seeing the atmospheric effects that scene. That's why it's on our list. Number 9 is the Mad Scientist Lab from 2008. Now, I know the scene didn't have much props, it only had like 3, and then that little bubbly, whatever, experiment thing. But the props that were in it were really cool. I mean, other than the fact that the one skeleton was static, the Franken-Cupid and Mad Scientist were super popular, and they were really good props. So, number 8 is The Graveyard from 2010. The Graveyard, I don't know, it was just what was so popular about it was that the fact that the scene was nice. I mean, cemeteries are always cool to see, but I mean, I think what got more hype was the props, like Lurching Vampire, and they introduced Demonica that year, which is a very popular prop. And they had a Guardian of the Grave and Resurrection Mary, which were very popular props. And like Tombstone Lifter and Rising from the Grave guys. And on to number 7. This is the Zombie Gas Station from last year again. Now, the Zombie Gas Station, the props were good, once again, with the Zombie Girl and Swing and like Barnyard Butcher. Those are props that I really like, and one of them I have. But not that, but the originality of the theme definitely got me surprised. Sorry, I burped. But anyway, I think that everyone was kind of expecting like a zombie apocalypse or another asylum theme, but this scene did kind of throw people off. But it turned out to be a really good scene. Now, when I saw the picture, I wasn't sure how good this scene was going to be, but they had a lot of props and it turned out to be pretty well. And on to number 6, another prop from last year, 2014, is the Haunted Attic. The Haunted Attic was a very nice scene. Even though it was small, they did have a lot of props, like the very popular Peekaboo Penny and Broken Girl, Electrified Maniac, Evil Scientist, and Possessed Wall Hanger, Court Monster. All those props were very popular. So popular that they brought like Possessed Wall Hanger, Lunging Lily, like all the girls they brought back, and they brought back Ghost Writing Book 2 in the Haunted Lamp. And now we are into our top 5. And number 5 is the Terror Mill from 2012. The Terror Mill was kind of big and kind of small. I just loved how they had like the big saw and the big like wheel that would spill out fog and water. And they did bring back Rosemary, but that scene did introduce Death Row and High Voltage, and Death Row is one of the most popular props, same with Rosemary, that Spirits ever sold. I mean, if they had like Jumping Spider in that scene, that would have been the top scene of all time. But that's why it's number 5, because, I don't know, the only thing I really didn't like about the scene, and I like pretty much everything, is the zombie babies. I don't know. The zombie babies just don't seem to go with the Terror Mill. But other than that, the scene looked nice. And number 4, the 2013 Zombie Asylum. Now, the Asylum, that scene was great. I mean, I remember walking into that when I was 9 years old and seeing just the archway was amazing, how they could do that. And the props in it were great. They brought back Rosemary, they brought back Death Row, they brought back High Voltage, brought back Girl in the Swing, all the popular props. And I ended up getting Death Row and Berserker Zombie and Jumping Critter. a lot of asylum props we do have. We have like a Limiting Boy and Rosemary too. And First Aid Box, and yeah. And on to number 3, is the Mausoleum from 2011 Spirit Halloween. Now, a lot of people don't remember this as the Mausoleum. A lot of people just say, oh, it's a graveyard. But Mausoleum gives it a better name because of how there's like the building sort of thing. So that's why I call it that. And that year introduced the Jumpin' Spider in that scene. One of probably the most popular prop Spirit Halloween's ever made. And other than that, I mean, they have good props like Guardian of the Grave, Creepy Caretaker, and like Gravedigger, which we have, and Lurching Vampire, all very good props. Ooh, introduced the Harvester that year. That's a very popular prop. And on to number 2, the Forest from 2009. Now, the Forest was kind of, not that the scene was that big, but it was very nice. The trees and the strobe lights that would go down. And the Ripping Reaper of Souls was probably one of my favorite Spirit Halloween props ever. It's in like my top 10 or something like that. And the witches, we got one of the witches. And like the scene was very cool. Deadlift was a popular prop. And the whole thing was just nice. It was planned out nice, very creepy. But now we are on to our number 1 spot. The spot that everybody, including me, knew that was their favorite. This is one of the largest, unique Spirit Halloween scenes ever. And it's from 2011, the zombie scene. That's right. It is the Toxic Wasteland. Now, this Toxic Wasteland was amazing. By far the best scene Spirits ever made. The Twilight Twitcher, they brought back the Monica, introducing Rosemary, and that is what gotta be one of the most popular props just as well. And that scene was just nice. How they had that slime coming down, and another crawling man, even though it wasn't the greatest prop, the crawling man still. And they had a Twilight Twitcher, the zombie bait that started kind of like hanging props, that kind of started it. And, yeah. So that is the top 10 Spirit Halloween scenes of all time. Make sure to check out more of my Spirit Halloween videos. Comment below. Unless you're on something else, comment about whatever. Yeah, and subscribe and like. Thank you. Happy hunting once again. Ha ha ha.